Here we are, episode 2 of our franchise, My League, in NBA 2K16. All right, so we got the number 1 pick in the draft. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, Chris, you got to think about the future and blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. If you have the best player in basketball at the top of your league on your team, like, there's a lot to be said about a lot of guys you could pick first. But I'll be 100% honest with you. I think the number 1 dude in this game in particular you would want to take as your guy, because from a scoring perspective, he's one of the most lethal players scoring-wise, is Kevin Durant. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you should take LeBron James. Obviously, LeBron from this time period on is great, but you have to remember in the video game world, he was kind of looking like his career might be kind of going like he might be done soon. You know what I mean? Like 10 years ago, people thought, oh, he might be done soon. Nobody would have thought he would have won, 2 more titles and been all NBA for as long as he's been for the next 10 years. But I don't think this game's going to let that happen. So I'm going to go with Kevin Durant. He's the best offensive player in this game by far. And his defense and playmaking ability is off the charts. And with how you want to play with him in this game, I'm going to draft him. So he's going to be my number 1 pick, especially if I want to have him for the long term, because I'm going to lock him up the moment I get him. So let's see who's number 2. LeBron James to the Lakers. And it works out that way. It's fitting. We got Curry to the Bulls, Anthony Davis to the Warriors, not shocking. James Harden to the Mavericks, Russell Westbrook to the Rockets. You can see how it's all playing out. I don't really have to say anything. Pretty interesting. Kyrie goes to the Pistons. That'll be a fun one. I like John Wall and the Celtics. That'll be fascinating. People forget DeMarcus Cousins was a monster. Absolute monster back in the day. One of the best offensive centers we've ever seen. Great pickup by the 76ers, Melo. Great pickup. Everybody's getting their superstar right now. That's pretty much how all this works out. Dwayne Wade in Memphis, that's funny. See, anybody's going to go back to their old teams. Tim Duncan's last year in his career. That's crazy. And then Andrew Wiggins. People forget Andrew Wiggins was a rookie in 2015. And then also, who else was a rookie in 2015? I think you had... remember, it's Serpentine, so I'm not going to get the first pick in the second draft. So the Thunder get 2 really good players. Let's see, was Karl Anthony Towns picked already? Let's see, was he picked? Karl Anthony Towns should be... I feel like Karl Anthony Towns should be picked already. Because he was... Or was he the first pick in 2015? No, he wasn't the first pick in 2015. I'm trying to remember. Karl Anthony Towns, no, he was drafted in 2015. Tony Parker to the Raptors, that's funny. People forget Monta Ellis was a bad boy back in the day. And Jabari Parker was a rookie. Dang, Jabari Parker. That's crazy. DeAndre Jordan. It's funny, he actually played for the 76ers. I think he still does right now, if I'm not mistaken. Draymond Green to the Magic. That's actually really good. That's actually really nice. And Jahlil Okafor, man, no, he was a rookie back. That's crazy. Serge Ibaka, he was only 25? Dang. All right, so we're on the clock. Let's go review. Yeah, let's go relook at the draft real quick. Oh, my bad. Okay, I want to go look at the draft, though. How do I go back and look at the draft? I'll go look back. I'll look back on it a little bit. So right now we got Kevin Durant as our power forward, or shooting small forward, basically. He's basically our scorer. He's our guy. And we are in need of... Let's see what's available out there. What's the best options that are available? Obviously, there's not a bunch of high leverage players. But you got really good players. People forget Eric Bledsoe was a really, 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 really good player. Isaiah Thomas, homegrown kid, definitely got his startup call during this season and became unbelievably elite, especially in the 2014-15 season. He really, really bumped himself up and got really good. I think what we're going to want here, there's a lot of good point guards left. We're really going to want to get a good point guard because we want a 1-2 punch. The NBA was still size-driven at this point, where you needed a guy to come in and be a defensive guy. Man, inside defense. Hassan Whiteside. People forget about Hassan Whiteside. Man, he was a beast back in the day. Absolute beast. Him and Rudy Gobert were like, Rudy was 23 back then. He was still elite defensively. I mean, look at that. B+, 23 years old. That's crazy. Tyson Chandler still was doing his thing back then. Just doing it. Crazy thinking 32 was old back then. You got to remember, before guys like played until they're like late 30s, if you were a 35-year-old hooper, you were like done. You were toast back in the day. So Tyson Chandler, like, you look at his career and you're like, oh, he's almost done. Like, he's almost retiring at this point. You had to remember that. No. Kenneth Faried is sick, but he was sick. The Manimal? Come on, man. Markeith and more. I wonder where his brother's at. Chandler Parsons. He was filthy, too. He was good. Okay, so let's go and pick a really good point guard. So we got KD. Ooh, Kemba Walker in the Garden. Let's go. Okay, we're on the clock again, so because we're in the Serpentine draft. So now's our chance to get... Oh, but Jamal Crawford is old, man. I can't pick him now. I'd love to get him, but 35. See, that's the thing. That's crazy. Jamal Crawford was old back in the day. Wesley Matthews never. I mean, he was just a shooter. Like you'd see, he's just a flat-out shooter. That's about it. Kyle Korver, flat-out bona fide shooter. Same with JJ, just a shooter. Dang, Manu was old back then. Holy moly. 37. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was ancient back in the day. Eric Gordon out of Indiana. Come on, man. How do you not forget these names? All right, let's get to a guy that we can draft. Kenneth Faried in the... But he's smaller than KD. I can't have him at the power forward. I need to have a big dude. Rudy Gobert. Defensive threat on the inside. Can't do anything offensively. Is he a finisher, though? Can he finish at the rim? Obviously, defense is fine. His defense is incredible. Can he finish at the rim, though? That's the key. Ooh, Amari Stoudemire. Ooh. That was before they knew he was going to flame out. Because he was elite back in the day. I think I got to get Hassan Whiteside. I mean, Marcin Gortat's nice, but he's only 6'11". I need a big, tall guy. Nah. Rudy Gobert's all right. He's a good guy to screen you and get you what you need to do. Even though he's not physical. None of these guys are really that physical. All right. Rudy Gobert. See, and then they get Hassan Whiteside. See, they knew. They already knew. All right. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Ooh, Isaiah Thomas to the Wizards. Nice. Joel Embiid to the Suns. He was a rookie back then. That's crazy. Look at that hair. He has no hair. Jalen Winslow. Justice Winslow. My bad. Dang. These names, y'all. These names. Crazy. These names are crazy. Dante Exum to the Thunder. Darren Williams. Yeah, Darren Williams was an old boy back then. That's crazy. Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder was a baby. Oh my gosh. Marcus Smart. Dang. Dang, Jeff Green. He was only 28? See, that just shows you how he was a baby when he started, because he started in like '08. That's crazy. He was a rookie when KD was a rookie, I think. Joe Green. Hops. Eric Gordon. Nice. That's a guy going to an old team. Okay, here we go. So let's go look at our team real quick. Well, draft picks, here we go. Got KD, Kemba Walker, and Rudy Gobert. I mean, that is a filthy trio. Nice, same old situation. That's a filthy trio. We got to give Kemba Walker his number for the Garden, obviously. So let's go back to the draft pool. So we got our centers. We got to get a starting small forward. Ooh, Wilson Chandler was legit back in the day. Could he shoot the outside ball? See, this is where you got to get your outside guys. You got to get your guys that can do perimeter defense too. He's 31, so people get scared to draft him. People get scared to draft him. I don't need a center. I need a shooting guard who can shoot. Perimeter defense, phenomenal, but he's also 33. See, Danny Green. This ain't bad at all. And he had perimeter defense, too. Yeah. Danny Green was always a solid option. Rodney Stuckey, man. He came from Washington. Played at Covington High School. Rodney Stuckey. Aaron Aflalo. Black Boy Fly. Kendrick Lamar. Come on, man. And then you got O.J. Mayo. For those of you that don't know, O.J. Mayo was an absolute phenom back when I was in high school, middle school. He was a phenom. People were freaking out about him getting drafted back in the day. Anyway, Danny Green, I think, is the option here, unless we're thinking Manimal, potential BB plus. Tristan Thompson, I like Tristan Thompson, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he doesn't really work. One of my favorite things about Manimal, though, is he got rebounds. And he's young, too. Yeah, I got to pick him up. Knicks are on the clock again. Perfect. And this is where I get my guy. And this is where we finish the first half of the draft. So I'm going to get Danny Green, and you're going to see my roster play out here. So it's pretty obvious. Kenneth Faried, a flying guy into the paint. Kemba Walker back at the Garden, had to bring him. He can bring it up the court, get the ball to KD to do his work down low in the paint, and then you got Rudy Gobert who can do stuff down low. So you got options offensively with Kemba Walker, Kevin Durant, and Kenneth Faried. And then you got your outside guy in Danny Green. So those are who we drafting as starters. And then the second half of this draft video, you're going to see who we get for our bench. And I'll explain how I go through picking up my bench, not because of the video game, but because of me covering sports, like this sport in particular. I know exactly what I need to do in regards to my bench. So I'll show you on that here in just a second. So let me draft him, and then we'll get on out of here. Here we go. Danny Green. Are you sure you want to draft this player? Yes, I do. See you on the next video.